link up with a local dealer here. So he allowed us to come in and talk to him. So this is the path we got to take. And you know, let's go. When I say cut the light though, cut it. Recently, I've been following this story of the heroin epidemic, and it's been a bunch of heroin overdoses and outbreaks. And recently, it hit home where I'm from. There was a outbreak of 20 people overdosing. 3 of those people died, and what I realized that when I started doing research for this is one of those people was somebody I grew up with, and this person wasn't anybody you would think has the markers for, you know, a drug abuser or let alone using heroin. And to find out, you know, fairly successful person in their early 30s, you know, down the street from my family's house overdose. I remember actually what I found out was I was actually outside the guy's house the day he overdosed. And I was sitting outside my family's home talking with my uncle, and there's all these ambulances and cops, you know, had the street shut down. And then I found out that it was because they were rushing him and his friends who had overdosed off this bad batch of heroin to the hospital. So I started to dig deeper, and you know, we'll see what I found out. We're gonna start with on the street level. We think that it's important, you know, from our perspective, that we're gonna get, you know, the participants from the dealer to the user. And I think if we understand those aspects, those people, we can understand how this thing has come back and why, you know, especially a drug that's considered, you know, I say dirty, if you will, use, you know, typically intravenous drug use, you know, needles to use it, and you know, it's a process you have to put it through, and the effects are horrific. So I don't know, man.
Describe heroin's feeling when the first time I ever snorted it, it felt like a hot blanket put in over you, and you could only see like a little black hole, or you're all like this, and you keep on nodding off. You know, it's the best feeling in the world, but and some of the worst effects inside the world today.
It makes you feel young again, you know, you feel good, it makes you feel good. I went on methadone when I was 19. I started meth, and I started to finish methadone, and then once in a while I still get high.
I've been a heroin addict for like 12 years, 12, 13 years, off and on, mostly on. I got on methadone a few years ago, and actually I've been for the most part clean, but I still screw up here and there, you know. And you know, to be real honest, the reason I'm in a rush is because I'm trying to get right now. Everybody thinks weed is a gateway drug. To me, alcohol was a gateway. I tried cocaine first time, I was drunk. I tried crack, I was drunk. You know, I tried dope, I was drinking. You know, and that's how I kind of got into dope, was just the group of friends I hung out with. We all partied, we partied hard, you know, and it just progressed.
I rarely saw somebody stop for life. You know, I was clean for 8 years. I was making 6 figures at a very reputable retail outlet, and lost it all after 8 years of being clean. Lost it all to doing that.
Yes, I stopped pretty well now. I'm a drinker now.
Just doing dope whenever I did crack, which was like once or twice a week, and it just progressed. You know, I started to smoke crack every day, doing dope every day, and I mean, I ended up homeless, everything, jail. You know,
I shot. I started shooting my friend. I shot about 2 years, I see. And then I couldn't get nothing. 3-4 days later, with no sleep, I ended up back in a mental hospital.
You know, it was interesting to see and be that close to addiction. You know, I've had to deal with addiction personally in my family. I had a parent who battled with it and it eventually took over them. But I never knew that side of them. So it's interesting to get to know that side of a person and to discuss their lives and to see how, you know, they had it all, they lost it all, they had it all again, they'll lose it again, all for the sake of getting high. And I think what I also found the most, I don't want to say disturbing, because I feel like it's not even them talking. It's almost like this false reality that's speaking. Even though they know what they're doing is dangerous, there's something, not even dangerous, deathly, that they're looking for the death. They're looking for the package that's going to give them the overdose, that's going to send them to the hospital the next morning. And, you know, the worst thing they find about that is the fact that the medication they're going to take to come off of that overdose is the worst part of that experience. And then to seek that thrill the next day, it really speaks to the pain and the psychological damage that's occurred. And, you know,
Good. Long time no see.
How you doing?
Doing well. Doing well.
Good. You out here in the park today, huh?
Yeah. Beautiful day.
Oh, Cornell Jones. I'm here in D.C., Washington, D.C. Here in Rock Creek Park, Maryland, up in D.C. Rock Creek, not D.C. It's just the park that separates the haves and have-nots in D.C. Everything on this side of the park is affluent. And on this side of the park is from here, the further you go is the lower income. Here, the further you go back, it's the higher income. No, I come from the lower income, but I live in this park, up in the park now, so only because I knew what it was. It's always been a heroin problem in the country, but it's always been in our neighborhoods. That's how they kept our neighborhoods, to where they were just, never on the verge of moving forward. Always, you never seen one neighborhood turn all middle class. No neighborhood, black neighborhood ever did that. You see, even the middle class black neighborhood eventually turned non-middle class after a while. You see, because we just don't know how to sustain. Used to, we know how to survive using drugs. I'm not saying everybody, but I'm just saying a lot of people that use heroin in our neighborhood, you don't see them anymore. These people go to work every day, they go home every day. And so but in the suburbs, you only hear about them because the white kids are dying from You see, so now your overdose done went up from X amount to 40% with the add-on from the white communities. So now it's an epidemic.
It's really stupid because I definitely knew, I mean, I didn't know all the repercussions, but I mean, I'd seen it in the media, I talked about it in school and shit, didn't really talk about it with my family, but I mean, I knew dope was bad, you know, and I know you could get addicted, but in my mind, when I was first doing it, when I first tried it, I thought I was just gonna do it a couple times, I'm not gonna get addicted, you know, it's not gonna happen to me.
In schools now, you have, and let's say urban schools, you have 30 to 40% of the kids, every last one of them is on some type of drug. And the school, and they prescribe, and the drug is, you know, is to calm them all down and be zombies. At the end of the day, they ain't gave the teachers no problem. So now they gotta have it. A lot of these drugs got morphine base in it. Good heroin market itself. You got some good heroin, they're gonna come across the continent to get some of these guys if they get there. It's always a market, so, you know. And once you know the market, it's easy, you know, because you know the players in the market. Got the super perf, you know, the super whatever, for whatever name they got on the show, and they coming, you know.
Link up with a local dealer here, so he allowed us to come in and talk to him. So this is the path we got to take. And you know, let's go. When I say cut the light, though, cut it. You cut that, man. I guess we can get right down to it. So you're in the narcotics business.
Yeah, that's right.
And what's your product of choice?
Dope.
Dope. How can you define dope?
Dope is heroin.
Heroin. So I guess how long you been in business?
5 years, 5 to 6 years. Starting with weed. Just started doing that. Then I realized all my friends were selling that crack and cocaine and heroin. So I linked it with some people. There's a lot of money to be made.
I did it because I didn't want to be poor forever. I want to try to, I didn't know any, I started at an early age. So what you want, you're either going to be a user, or you're going to be a seller, or you're going to stay out the way. So you had 3 options, you know. So I was only in it for the money. I wasn't in it for the, you know, the joy of it, you know.
I wanted to study, you know. I got tired of just having a 6-pack of beer on Friday. I wanted something strong.
How I got introduced to it was actually just through my group of friends. It was kind of progressive. We all we partied hard, you know, and it just progressed from cocaine to crack and with cocaine and crack, you crash hard, and you most crackheads and coke fiends need something to come down. You know, a lot of people drink or pop pills or whatever. And my friend introduced heroin to me as a way to come down from the coke and crack crash, and it worked fucking beautifully, you know. And that's how I kind of got into dope.
I'll sell to my cousins, you know. There are people in my family using. They're going to get it from somewhere. Might as well get it from me.
That stuff that they got out here in the streets, they mixing that shit with fentanyl and stuff like that, making it real dangerous for the people. It's taking people out. It's another genocide movement, and population control, basically. You know what I mean? And I don't know, people that's doing it, man, they just killing themselves. You know?
To actually take something that you've worked so hard for and just give it away to somebody and say, here's my life. You know, and every time you stick that needle in your arm, all you're doing is you're putting somebody's faith and somebody's life inside your hands.
The streets are cold, man. Try not to think about that part. Just make your sales and go home to your own family. You hear about all the bullshit and stuff the next morning, but no sympathy. It's all about the dollars.
Now they don't have no respect for the users, but I mean, they don't care what they sell to users. See, and in this business, you know, most users, they know they deal. You see, I mean, they've been going for years to them. Users gonna go, they're gonna go where they know they got their money's worth. They didn't get robbed. You know what I mean? They ain't got to worry about nothing. You know what I mean? You know, 'cause you can get, you don't know what you're getting when you in your package. You know, you can be shooting up anything. You know, so these kids ain't coming from suburbs, you know. And that's the problem. They come to town buying from anybody. They don't know who they're buying from. And you go back, you hit a shot too strong for you, you're dead. You know, it's as simple as that. You know what I mean? It ain't but one shot can do it, you know, if you don't know what's in the bag, you know. And nowadays, you don't know what's in the bag, you know.
If you really wanna know, and that's why they always portray in the movies. You see how in the movies they take the knife and they always go like this and they taste it. We taste it, but you're not supposed to do. Cops aren't supposed to do that because if it's a poison, strychnine or something like that. But that's how sometimes you see if it's real. Like I smoke cocaine sometimes, you know, to tell if that's real. I take a tiny piece, put it on my tongue. If my tongue gets numb, you know it's real. I mean, that's that.
I've OD'd, I died, came back, you know, like, and the heroin had such a hold on me when I OD'd that I woke up in the hospital and all I wanted, I knew I had a couple bags left and I knew it was good shit because they OD'd me and all I wanted to do was leave. I guess they have to hold you for 24 hours or something. When that happens, I kept trying to run out of the hospital and leave. Security kept stopping me. The next morning, you know, they tried to talk you into going to a program, but I was only like 21 or 22 at the time. I was still in denial that I even had a problem, you know, so I just wanted to get out of there. I left the next morning and went right back, you know, right back to getting high, you know.